a false statement made on this board on April 16, 2023. Regarding mandatory reporting, due process, and the district's handling of child abuse allegations. The district has repeatedly misled parents, silenced those who follow the law, and protected itself instead of protecting students. Before that meeting, Principal Pollock sent a letter to Terra Vista Elementary School stating that the child abuse allegations were investigated and found to be unsubstantiated. At that time, the case had been transferred to the Crimes Against Children Unit, meaning that the district had no legal authority to claim the investigation was over. Then at the April 16th meeting, Michelle Carney, a district employee and union representative, publicly defended the district and accused me of reporting. She said the district and the teachers union work together to determine the truth in child abuse cases, which is not how mandatory reporting works. Reports are legally required to go to law enforcement or child protective services, not to be handled internally by the district and the union. Sergeant Gordon, a law enforcement officer and board member, also made a public statement on this case, saying there was more to the story, but he could not share details. This is not impartial. A police officer should not speak publicly on an open investigation, especially in a way that undermines a mandatory reporter. If Gordon and Carney truly did not know that the case had been transferred, why didn't they correct themselves later? Instead of fixing their mistake, they stood by their statements, allowing the district's misleading letters to go unchallenged. The district collaborated to discredit a mandatory reporter, harass me, and control the public narrative while the case was still open. It was open. I was in contact with the Crimes Against Children investigator, and it was not closed until the year at the end of 2024. The retaliation I faced proved this. I left on stress leave after being harassed the following year. I feared for my safety and began picking up my daughter from school every day to protect her from possible retaliation. Meanwhile, the board allowed, with those clear conflicts of interest, to publicly defend the accused while failing to correct their own false statements. In that statement, he said, if we make a mistake, we'll own it. I haven't heard it yet. I also want to address the misinformation in the district's mandatory reporting training. The annual staff notification states that a report must be made to the principal before contacting law enforcement, which is false. The law requires reports to go directly to law enforcement or child protective services. The district had misled its employees about their legal obligations, creating a system that discourages proper reporting and allows abuse to be covered up. The legal reclassification of TK students in pre-K 2022 was the year I became a problem. Right? I worked here for over a decade, moving up from a proctor to an early childhood education teacher. If I was such a bad employee, why was I continuing to move up in the company? The district has tried to silence me, retaliate against me, discredit me. Law enforcement, the union, the district, for making a report. I will not stop for fighting for mandatory reporters, child safety, and an end to harassment against those who follow the law.